year, we are pleased to have 4 new emerging talents, 1 girl and 3 boys. Firstly, I am really pleased to invite Giulia Parlato to join us. Thank you, Giulia, for coming here. So,
Hello.
Hello, Giulia. So, Giulia, you are an Italian artist living in London. You were born in 1993 and studied at London's College of Communication before completing a master's degree at the City Royal College of Art. That's not so bad. Your photos have been published in the British Journal of Photography and Vogue Italia, and you also work in the cinema industry as a still photographer. To come to your theory, the theory you present mainly downstairs with your portfolio, archaeological museums are full of traces of the past. But what happens when an artist like you see historical settings as backdrops for fight and fancy? In Chronicles, if I say well the name of the series, you attempt to reconstruct the past, degenerate in fantastical surroundings, and archaeological artifacts enjoy strange fate rust, buried, unearthed, transported, and relocated. So firstly, Giulia, please could you tell us more about this series that we can have a look through the slideshow?
Yes, hello everybody. I wasn't expecting so many people. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Vincent, for this opportunity to share my work today. The series Chronicles actually started because I was interested in an archive in London called the Abbey Warburg Archive. And I was looking at the forgery section there, so I started to think about the relationship with history and fiction, and what happened when you enter something fake into something that is supposed to have a sort of academic legitimation in it. And so I started to think about what kind of forgeries I could photograph. So I got in contact with a really beautiful museum in Palermo called the Salinas Museum. And they actually had a really nice story there of this series called the Mastrassa Fakes. And there was this archaeologist called Cavallari, who with a farmer called Moschella, they made a series of Sicilian farmers from the 800 depicted as Greek statues. So I took a picture of one of the pieces, and this is how it all started. But then it became a more poetic investigation in how the archaeology and the museum space can really shape the understanding we have of history, and is presented in a sort of archival photographic collection of inexistent scenes and artifacts that I shot in Sicily, where I gained access into these museums to either stage artifacts there or photograph the forgeries they had in the basements. And also I took part in an archaeological dig taking place there, but also staging all the scenes. So even the images that looks a bit more documentary are completely staged. And I guess it's also about the material culture and how it moves through time, and the different possibilities an object can hold in terms of narrative, because these objects, they are created at a certain stage, they maybe are used, then they get lost, they are buried, and then they are unearthed again, transported maybe to a museum, and they then gain a certain legitimation in them because they are displayed, they end up displayed in these museums. But the whole historiography process is a kind of narrative in itself because it's it's like cleaning up the past and just deciding what needs to be recognized. But then there is like a huge amount of things that ends up in a limbo of knowledge that could be, for example, embodied in a storage of a museum.
Thank you very much. And do you think photography has a specific role in this kind of link with history or a symbol or archaeological subject like this? What is the role of photography for that, for you as an artist?
Photography, I mean, it has a main role because one of the main references of this project is a photographic project I really love by Larry Selton and Mike Mandel called Evidences. And it's the first project about people working with an archive of, so they weren't shooting the images, it was, they were working with like the NASA archive and other different ones to prove that the sequence of images can construct a new narrative that might be fictional even if the images were actually documentation of scientific research. So yeah, like a main. And this is an image of how it used to be, how it's displayed, and it's very influenced by this art historian that I was mentioning at the beginning called Abby Warburg, because it's one of his most famous works. It's called Memnosine Atlas. And he used to work in panels with all of these images from his photographic archive, spanning the whole, from like the very beginning until its contemporary time, history of Western art. And he was trying to find a common thread among the whole Western history of art, but the way it was displayed was by free associations between things. So he was inspired by that.
Is that something you thought since the beginning of the project, this kind of concept of presentation for the exhibition?
In a way, yes, even though I tried many different things, because I was trying to find a way to display more images connected together, because I think in this kind of project you get the sort of narrative with more than 3 images, and this is what worked. Also, because it seems like a book, like an encyclopedia, but with missing text in it. So you still have the sense of looking for informations that are missing. So it's a way of working in subtraction in a project that is apparently addition, because it's supposed to be an addition of evidences that are not there, are not in the work.
And here we can see it on the wall of an exhibition. So is it also a concept for a book when the project will be finalized?
Yeah, I would love to make a book with it, but I need to work for another year to achieve that, I think.
Okay, so next step is to finalize this project, or you are on to a new project doing now?
No, I'm looking for. I'm looking to get access to a conservatory department of a museum, because I would like to photograph the machines they use to authenticate artifacts, because now it's really advanced, so it looks almost like an hospital but for objects, which I find really interesting, but it's really hard to get the access for these places.
And you had since Thursday the opportunity to attend Paris Photo as an artist, being there with your portfolio. What about this specific experience? Well, it's not the end, and the end will be tomorrow evening, but...
Surreal. Yeah, it's really nice because you get so many people that are interested in looking at your work, and it seems crazy because there is so much history and photography here that you are really grateful each time someone stops by and wants to look at what you're doing. So it's been really nice so far.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any question for Giulia to know more about her project or the way she's working? Actually, maybe in your portfolio there is a lot of color photographs also and montage, you know, of several images putting together. Can you speak about that a little bit? This way you are.
Yeah, there is a project that I did before this, and that is still ongoing, but is more site-specific because it talks about Sicilian iconology and is inspired by the Byzantine mosaics we have in Sicily, in which you have all of these mainly Christian figures floating in gold. And that project is going to be a big photo montage with all of these new iconology and past, where you have pagan culture mixed with Christian culture and also contemporary Sicilian culture. And is an attempt to reconstruct a new mosaic of Sicily with images in a constellation. So it's about that.
Okay. Thank you very much. So if there is not any question, I invite you after the conference to go and see the portfolio of Giulia down the stairs at the Carte Blanche students' tables. Thank you very much, Giulia, for
Thank you very much.
attention.